a favor? Can you just say, it's true, we really do.
It's true, we really do.
Okay,
Did that
now
sound
everything is right
convincing?
in
I
the
have
world.
no idea what I'm bringing there.
No, it's okay. That's fine. That's fine.
If I didn't just say I eat babies or I don't know, sacrifice kittens to the spaghetti monster or something. Okay.
You know what the best
What?
part of this game is, Ren? It's flying around New York.
I disagree. The best part of that game is being Hulk and smashing.
Little Lego Iron Man here.
The best part of that game is being Hulk and smashing things, and then they fall apart into a big shower of Lego bricks.
But I'm flying.
Yeah, there's lots of games where you fly. How many games do you get to be Incredible Hulk smashing things and turning them into Lego bricks?
This is a pretty good flying, actually, I'm gonna say, all said and done. This game does superhero flying justice.
Okay. It's a flight sim. Do you have... So speaking of which, what did you decide to do about your axes? Like, remember you were talking about how you're used to playing...
Mm-hmm. Oh, flipping. I flip to what most people consider normal.
You want to explain to them what you're talking about? Because they're probably confused. They probably think that you went gay or straight or something. I flip.
No, they know. They do. They know video games.
He used to play it like simulator style, up and down, right and left. No, not left, but
yeah.
And Karen say, "Oh my
Cats and dogs
God!
living together." You got to do it like, "Oh my God!
Oh my God!" It's about as loud as I'm going to get. All right.
I should be ashamed because that wasn't as high pitched as I am when I do it. So there's that.
A super high voice. Thank God, because I'm petite, and if I had a high voice, no one would ever be able to take me remotely seriously. You like me? Yes. I could go higher. Oh my God! Thank you, Elvis. He says we're great together. We're wonderful together.
We are. We're totally awesome together.
We're total nerds together.
Yeah.
And we agree on we agree to disagree on religion. We see eye to eye on politics. We're both Sox fans because around the Chicago area, people who aren't from here may not realize that Sox fan and Cub fan is like a red state blue state thing. It's like a mixed marriage.
There's no coexistence. Nobody says both. Nobody who cares says both.
We went to a Brewers Cubs game and rooted for the Brewers. Even though we're both from Chicago. And whenever we've gone traveling anywhere like away from Chicago, as soon as they hear we're from Chicago, they go, "Cubs suck!" And we're like, we know. So now whenever I'm anywhere that's not near Chicago, I make sure that I wear Sox stuff. Because everybody is like, "Oh, you're from Chicago, you must be a Cubs fan." No.
The Statue of Liberty just nodded and winked at me.
Lego. Hey, Lego Hulu recently. I thought that was pretty cool. Those minifigs they've got some awesome ones.
Wait, which ones? What?
They've made some odd, like they have her. They've got a lot of awesome minifigs now. Like, the collectible ones. They made Hulu.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Hulu?
Hulu? Oh,
yeah.
Cthulhu.
What's
Cthulhu?
his name?
The monster, the squid monster.
For some reason, his name is eluding me because I'm trying to think about it.
I thought you were talking about something Hawaiian. Like a hula hoop?
No,
hula dancer?
No. I've actually never read any of the Call of Cthulhu or... what's the guy's name? I can't think now.
You know what? I'm guessing a lot of people haven't.
You're missing a lot of what?
I'm guessing a lot of people haven't.
It's like I gotta turn in my geek card. Cthulhu hoop. That would be awesome. Yeah. I would love a Cthulhu hoop. You have his head on one end, or the whole thing's green and has tentacles coming off of it. Or you could put a stick with it, one of those hoop and stick things, and you could call it a Cthulhu hoop and an old wand. Instead of an old one. What, Rich? Yeah, the old
Old
ones.
Wand? Okay.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
You didn't play this game much,
No,
did you?
I didn't.
Did you ever get the, free run around the city with the Hulk?
What's that? What's the black and white thing? Is that
I'm
like
just running around now.
Hey, I saw a thing on Facebook where it said Beetlejuice 2. Is that just something somebody made, or are they actually making one? Somebody crafted together with Photoshop, or are they actually making a sequel? And if they are, does it have Michael Keaton in it?
Well, they couldn't do one without Michael Keaton. I've heard them talk about making one. I don't know if
When
there's
is that
anything official.
Ghostbusters sequel thing coming out? Or remake, or whatever?
I don't care. I don't care at all. It's not a Ghostbusters movie. It doesn't have Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray in it. It's not a Ghostbusters movie.
I'm still curious about it.
That's fine. I don't know if that's anywhere near being done, but I totally don't care. Ooh, I can aim with the. Ooh, I didn't know you could aim when Hulk picks up a thing.
He's like some kind of big gorilla.
Yeah, I know.
But he's
Hulk's on a rampage.
Awesome.
It's great.
1 second. Also, the
My throat's.
I think they made another Lego Indiana Jones too, didn't they? Thought they
A third one?
Maybe it's just 2.
I know
I
they
haven't
made a
played
second.
it. I need to. I played through the first one. Have you played Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Rich? I like.
A long time ago.
I mean, my
10 years?
video game, as
That might
Rich
be
knows,
too
my
much. No, maybe about
video
10 years,
game
yeah.
experience is relatively limited. I mean, I do, not to be some kind of gender stereotype, but yeah, I'm not a huge gamer. I like, some of the old 8-bit games. I like casual games. I like sandbox games.
Imagine Grand Theft Auto with the Hulk, and you can
sounds
destroy
fun.
any building. Yeah, yeah, of course. You got the Hulk. That's what you want to do.
They need to make another Crazy Taxi.
Do they? I mean, they've kind of done everything they can with Crazy. And the best they could do is
No, but they can
the
make it,
graphics.
like you can kind of go underwater and you can kind of go in the subway. They need to have like more places where you could explore and pick people up. Maybe cross it with zombies.
Okay. That sounds insane. It's Crazy Taxi zombies.
Yeah, try to rescue people from zombies and pick them up before the zombies can get them. I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people complain about zombies being played out, though. It might be too late.
Yeah.
Are you still watching The Walking Dead?
No, I don't mean to sound like a wimp, but I stopped watching it because it gave me bad dreams. Yeah.
Really?
I was always dreaming. I got tired of always dreaming about. Most of them weren't like nightmares exactly. I mean, they were more sad. Like I dreamed that you were infected with zombie germs and stuff. It was like the pathos of
Zombie
zombies.
germs.
Not so much that I was terribly afraid that zombies were going to get me right now, but like, yeah. So I kind of stopped watching. Plus, it got like so violent. I mean, it's not that I think that violence in movies is going to ruin us all or something, but it was like to the point where, like you're watching like 50 zombies get a pike through the eye socket each episode, and it just gets kind of
Yeah. That sounds great.
Well, you can certainly watch it. I've seen the first 3 seasons in maybe 4. I think it was 3 in their entirety.
I can't tell you why I haven't watched past the first few episodes. I like zombies. I like the show. For some reason, I haven't watched more than the first few.
It's it's okay. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. Everybody tells me it's great. I think you even told me it's great. I just haven't done it yet.
I wanted to start watching it with you.
We'll have to watch it.
I'm like, everybody says this is great. Why don't we watch it?
Well,
and you're like,
we'll watch it sometime. Well, I know last time we went on a watching binge. It was we watched like all of Gotham. That was then current.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can sit there and binge watch something all day. You can't do that. You can't do more than like 2 episodes at a time.
And
that's not me at all. I can sit there and watch
and I'll
until
watch
the whole
stuff and
series
then
is
I'll
done.
just stop. I don't even know why half the time. Like I still haven't seen all of Weeds. But I haven't seen all of the last season.
Haven't?
And sometimes I know.
You love
I know.
that show.
And I keep thinking, well, one of these days I'm going to watch it. I just never do. I'm probably going to die with all this stuff. Oh, I meant to watch it. I watched a few episodes of Orange is the New Black. I thought it was decent. I haven't really watched any more. Yeah, I haven't seen Daredevil yet. Heard mixed reviews. Yeah.
Mixed?
Why, you heard all bad or good?
Where have you heard somebody say anything bad about that show? I'm the only one I know that said I still like the show, but I'm the only one I know who said anything negative about that show, and people hated it.
Some of my online geekily friends, or much bigger geeks than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a small time geek.
What did they say bad? I'm curious what their complaints were.
I
wish to compare and contrast.
But I know it wasn't all positive. I didn't really pay that much attention or understand exactly what their references to things were because I hadn't seen any of them. How about, have you watched Agent Peggy Carter at all? I like that.
No. Her name is, they call it Agent Peggy Carter, not just Agent Carter?
Agent Carter, yeah. But her name is Peggy.
Okay. Okay. She's the old-timey Captain American love interest from the olden
right
days,
after the Second World War. Late 40s, I think.
Yeah. Okay. She has a cameo on the Avengers too.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I have not seen it yet. I heard a number.
I didn't see it with you because I saw it for work.
Reviews. I heard some
people are going to
reviews.
be confused by that.
And I heard one review that said you shouldn't watch it sober, which I assume was a bad review.
My final opinion is it's fine. I mean, I didn't love it more than anything. It was entertaining.
It's the kind of thing that if my
there's a lot of good
it's the kind of thing that if one of my girlfriends wants to go see it, I'm cool with that. Otherwise, I can also wait until it comes out, Redbox or something too. It's not something I gotta see. Admittedly, I really want to see that picture. It might suck, but I really want to see that Pixar movie. I'm really looking forward to that with the girls' emotions.
I think you're allowed to like Pixar movies. I don't think anybody will get.
Well, I mean, that one, it seems like a cheesy concept, but I'll bet it's cute.
Well, it's Pixar though. Well, lately they've kind of lost their touch a bit.
Well, the Baymax.
I'd say, well, it's a Pixar movie, but I don't think that carries the same weight it did.
Big Hero 6 was
5 years ago.
But Up was fantastic.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
The other day, I had to pull up my mother. I was talking about squirrel. My name is Doug. And I've just met you, and I love you. And she didn't get the reference. I said, haven't you seen Up? And she said no. And I'm like, you need to see Up. So I pulled that video, and of course, she thought Doug was cute because Doug is adorable. They captured the essence of dogness there, the way they captured the essence of seagullness in Nemo. Mine.
Great, the ferry's
they've had some good movies. All of their movies are not good, but generally, I still, when I see that it's Pixar, I generally have a positive opinion of something.
Maybe we can
to begin with.
this old boat up.
It's still a brand that I think I have a positive
people.
association with. They're not perfect. They had WALL-E. WALL-E was great. That was relatively recent. I mean, probably like 5 years ago now or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's not recent. What was the last good Pixar movie? Up?
What movies have there been since then? Big Hero 6?
Brave.
I haven't seen.
Fine. It was all right. They did Monsters Inc.
was
2. Right. They did Cars 2. Was there another sequel?
Well, didn't they have like
squeezed in there?
Toy Story 6.5?
Toy Story 3? I think Toy Story 3 might have been
they're supposed to be making Incredibles
I could
2.
be. Yeah. I'll go see that just because I love The Incredibles 1 so much. I'm just saying, I think Pixar's for them, a bit of a slump.
But they've got enough, you know. They've had enough hits, and they've had some hits recently enough, and some movies that weren't bad recently enough that when I see that there's a Pixar movie coming out, I want to see it. You know, unless I hear horrible things about it, you know, right when it comes out, I'm probably going to see it at the theater. Pixar versus DreamWorks. I'm trying to think of... I'm so bad at remembering who does what. Shrek?
Shrek and... I don't know, a bunch of shit. Shrek and a bunch of shit.
Coraline was great.
Was that
No,
DreamWorks?
I think they're saying it was Laika. Wasn't Laika the one that did, what was that kid? Paranorman? Paranorman was great. I love Paranorman.
Yeah, I think so.
And I love that book. Who did that Book of
Trolls.
Life movie with the like the Mexican Day of the Dead people?
Not sure.
That came out last year around Halloween. I'll look it up, but that was quality. Really liked it. Let's see. Music composed by yada yada yada. Visit page. Come on, Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice work.
Oh, that's USA Today. I want the Rotten Tomatoes page, because that'll probably tell me who it is.
Chat is saying Book of Life.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. IMDb, that probably has it. Directors, writers, stars, animation, adventure.
Hey.
Where the heck did they tell you who made it?
Hope smashes for the bad guys, all right? Let's just get ourselves a ticket.
Full cast, crew, technical specs, release dates, box office, business. How hard is it to find out what animation studio made it?
Very.
Guillermo del Toro? Is that? But who's the animation studio? Who's the animation studio? Who did the Lego?
Maybe it was something new.
Who was that by?
Warner Brothers Animation.
That was
I want to say.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was popcorn fun.
It wasn't as good as
quality.
See the fabulous
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't artistic genius like the best Pixar films.
Really? You couldn't have gone before we left?
It wasn't even The Incredibles.
No, it wasn't even Paranorman.
Which is fucking awesome. The way I said wasn't even makes it sound like The Incredibles is lesser. I don't mean it to sound like that. The Incredibles is fucking awesome.
The superhero movie. Without containing any licensed superhero entity.
It's also a good James Bond movie.
You know what? Still, I think one of my... You want to talk about animated movies? Like, I guess not really CGI movies. I think Roger Rabbit might be one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah. Roger Rabbit is excessively good. It's sickening.
And that guy, I'm so bad with names. The Haskins, Robert Haskins, Bob Haskins, whatever his name was. That guy.
Bob Haskins. Haskins.
I mean, I've heard him. He was from England. He had an English accent when they interviewed him.
Most famous for playing Mario in the Super Mario
I've never
Bros.
seen
movie.
that.
You'll find them here.
I'm kidding. He's not most famous for that.
Probably most famous for that Roger Rabbit role. I have so much Bob Hoskins. Yeah, I have so much respect for somebody who can play that off like he's interacting with another character, and he's There is no rabbit. They added that in later.
Well, that's every movie these days, Karen. You can have two normal human beings talking together, and the odds are one of them's going to be CGI for no good reason.
They abuse CGI a lot. CGI should be a tool, not, It's got a little bit better, but for a long time it was like, let's see how many explosions we can have.
Canada, uncovering your past or something.
And it's like, what about storytelling?
When you get excessive and you do things just because you can, it's
like that
usually
horrible remake of Flight of the Phoenix. Oh my God, why?
I haven't even bothered with the remake because it looks like there's a shootout at the end of the movie.
Like
for
the
no
best
good reason.
movies are like most of them work as plays. It's all about the characters, the dialogue.
Do you want to sell the chat on the Jimmy Stewart? I think Ernest Borgnine was
and
the
Hardy
other one.
Kruger.
Maybe not him.
Hardy Kruger.
No, it was Ernest Borgnine. Yeah. You can explain that movie to these people, because I don't think they're going to go out of their way to see this.
People crash in a small plane in, I think it's the Gobi Desert. They're in the desert.
Yeah,
they're
screwed. Definitely in the fucking desert.
And the one guy, he has some knowledge of, and I'm not going to spoil how he knows this or whatnot, but he's German, and he's a very cold, calculating, intellectual kind of guy. He's got glasses. He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he doesn't have
basically
good people skills.
But he knows how to build another plane out of the parts from their crash plane.
And they're talking, and they're like, people are. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but he's calculating for how many people the plane is going to need to hold, and he's not even counting the people he thinks are going to die. Oh well, they're going to die anyway and stuff. I mean, he's just, I think this many people will still be alive when I finish this plane, and we're going to build this plane, and then there's Jimmy Stewart, who is like the emotional end of things, and we're talking about Flight of the Phoenix. Yeah, he's a German, and he's every German stereotype, and it's a great movie. It is just great.
I brought an umbrella, bub.
Yes,
so what you're saying is
it's a great movie. And you should go see the movie. And you shouldn't see the remake, because the remake sucks, because they just thought, oh, we'll stick some CGI in it. It's like they're going to go and remake Arsenic and Old Lace and put explosions in it, just because.
This drama needs a fight scene.
Which Flight of the Phoenix? The Flight of the Phoenix that came out in like the 50s with Jimmy Stewart and Hardy Kruger, and its original classic.
Ernest Borgnine. I'm pretty sure Ernest Borgnine was
and it's quality.
Ernest Borgnine comes up a lot here for some reason.
Have you seen Arsenic and Old Lace, Rich?
Yes.
It's a movie with what's the guy's name? The crazy guy, Peter Lorre. Peter Lorre is a plastic crazy.
Yeah, Rock Hudson, right? Wasn't Rock Hudson in that? I've been wrong.
But anyway,
before.
This guy goes to his crazy aunt's house, and there's the whole family is crazy. And the uncle, he's down in the basement. He thinks he's Theodore Roosevelt digging the Panama Canal, and the aunts are poisoners, and the cousin is a criminal who's got Peter Lorre's character to do plastic surgery on him all the time. A Dr. Strangelove remake? I don't know about that.
Oh, God, don't.
Mein Führer, I can walk! I choose the red pill or the blue pill. I don't want to know. Let me live in my ignorance. Rich?
Yeah, I'll take the Matrix.
With the Matrix. Matrix seems like a pleasant enough place to live. It's not perfect. I mean, yes, they had to make it a certain level of sucky. They talked about that. But, it's better than the level of sucky when they're into the whole reality thing. So, yeah, let me have my Matrix.
I'll explain this again, because I think I've talked about this before. If I was given the red pill, blue pill choice, right? Which pill did which?
The blue. I think the red pill.
Anyway, I would take the pill
I think the red pill was the one that made you see reality as it was, and the blue pill was where he woke up and he, was back in his normal life.
Okay, I would have taken the red pill. Then I would have gotten to Zion, saw the slum with the rave going on, and I would have instantly regretted my choice, and I would regret it for the rest of my life. I would want the blue pill so bad. I would be what's his face who tried to sell everybody out to go back in the Matrix.
Yeah,
that would be me.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it would be nifty if you could. I don't think you can take both pills at once. I don't think it works that way. But it'd be nifty that you could download kung fu into your brain in 15 seconds, but not worth it. Not worth it. Just plug me in. You'd rather have Agent Smith run your world. Agent Smith, the actor, he did a good job. Mr. Anderson. I liked that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would not want to... If the world is as fucked up as it is in the Matrix, I don't want to know about it. If it's fucked up in the same way that it is in the Matrix, because the world's fucked up, but in such a bleak, aliens are... No. I don't want to know. Don't want to know. Let me dream.
What am I doing here? I'm like half paying attention to the game. And I'm doing bad because I'm half paying attention.
See, we've come full circle. We were talking about spoons made of gallium, and now we've gotten into the Matrix.
Now we're talking about there being no spoon. Yes.
I mean, I guess there is no spoon in real life. I mean, matter is a really strange thing. It's all weird energy fields and attraction and repulsion, and every time they find a different subatomic particle, there's more subatomic particles inside of that one, and maybe the whole universe is 2D, and maybe the whole universe is inside of a black hole, so reality is pretty strange, but,
That's not even touching string theory.
It's all very strange, but... So, I guess there is no spoon. But it's convenient to agree that we're all going to pretend that there's a spoon, because otherwise they probably need to lock you up. Because, if you can't function, if we can't all agree to pretend the same things about the spoon, then society kind of falls apart. We got rubber rooms and stuff.
I think I showed you it before. There's a scale of the universe thing floating around somewhere.
Oh, the one with where they'll show the Earth relative to this, and then the Sun relative to bigger stars.
This one was even more in depth. This one had some kind of flash kind of program where you could control it yourself. You actually zoomed in and out yourself, and it started with a Planck length. And then it went to, the quark size of things, and then atoms, and then it went all the way up to the entire known universe. And there is so much space between the protons and the neutrons inside of your atom, which are so far apart from the electrons, which are so far apart from the other atoms. It's amazing.
It's all just energy.
Yes, there is almost nothing in the universe.
Yeah. And then you have the distances between the stars.
But I was going to ask, do you? I think I showed you that once before, or I've linked to it in my Facebook or something. Do you know what that program is exactly called, or where you can find it? Because it's so great.
Not right offhand, and at the moment I'm actually watching the internet on a Chromebook, which doesn't do Java, so it might not be. It could probably do Flash, but it might or might not be able to.
But you at least remember what I'm talking about. I'm curious.
And it was cool. And yes, the universe is full of infinitely large and infinitely small. I mean, we think we're normal size, and gee, blue whales are big, and golly, ants are small, and ants think we're big, and whales think we're small, but it's so much beyond that. I mean, the nearest star is, light travels, 186,000 miles a second through a vacuum, and space is a near vacuum. And the nearest star is 4 light years away. That's the nearest one, and there's billions of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that book that I'm reading, that Disappearing Spoon, it was also describing how atoms are built in the sun. I guess, like, they were saying that, like, or you know how the sun builds hydrogen and helium? You know, fusion? That's what makes the sun do its thing, I guess. You know, makes it hot. Nuclear fusion. Because of the gravity, it's not so big that it's fusing atoms of hydrogen together. So it's like a constant balancing act between the desired. The heat has to do, I guess, with the constant tension between the heat making the sun want to expand and the gravity making it want to get smaller. Well, I guess when stars, different stars depending on their mass, stop at different points, but the really big stars, they build hydrogen and helium, and then they start building things into lithium, I guess, which is number 3, I think, and they keep going until they get to iron. By the time, you know how, like, hydrogen and helium, it's like, I guess it would be called like an exothermic reaction. It, like, gives off heat. Well, I guess after iron, there are further reactions, but they lose heat, they lose energy, and so once it gets to the point where it's building anything other than iron, at some point the outside force of heat falls apart, and the gravity of the star, it just, like, very quickly at thousands of miles an hour collapses. And that's where the heavier elements get built. And then right after it collapses, it explodes. Supernova. And that's how all of the heavier atoms get dispersed. Which is pretty cool. So, I mean, yes, we're made out of stardust, and stars are made out of recycled old stars, but I just thought that was cool because I knew that, you know, all this stuff was built in stars, but they were trying to describe, you know, how it works. I know.
Science is great.
And there are some great science podcasts out there, too. So, yeah.
How do you feel about the heat death of the universe, Ren?
Well, on one hand, it sucks. But on the other hand, I'm not going to be here to witness it. I mean, I guess I'm a little sad about it in theory, the way I'm sad about dinosaurs going extinct in theory, but then again, you know, we probably never would have evolved. But, yeah, you know, I don't worry about it too much, the way I don't lose a whole lot of sleep over the fact that the sun is probably someday going to scorch the earth and turn into a brown whatever. I mean, I'm not very likely to be alive for any of that. I mean, they keep trying to come up with ways to extend life, but even with good extensions, I'm not filthy rich. I would be extremely unlikely to live to be 150, and more likely, I'm probably going to die when I'm 70 or 80, so I'm not going to be around. I might die soon.
Well, what about this is just in theory here? What about uploading your brain into a computer?
Would that work, or would it just, like, drive your brain insane because it wasn't getting the normal sensory inputs? Would that make you go crazy? Because, like,
I don't know.
You know, like when they put people in sensory deprivation tanks and they start hallucinating and shit. Would that happen if you didn't have a body?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they would try to give you some way to communicate with the world. You know,
sight and sound and stuff, but there's a whole.
If you can simulate a brain, I'm assuming you can simulate sight and sound. Whether or not, you know, different philosophical argument is whether or not that's actually you.
Yeah, whether or not you're a pattern, or whether or not you're a ghost in the machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say they can do that, and you do live that long. You do live to see the sun explode.
And would you still be you, or would it be like the Star Trek transporter question of you, like would you might still be you to external observers, but what was subjectively you, would it have died? And are you a ghost in the machine, or are you an emergent pattern, and what does that mean? So yeah, I mean, these are good questions, and yes, I suppose I might be worried about the heat death of the universe if I had achieved near immortality. And I remember, like I was talking to you the other day about our teacher was talking about activation energy and potential energy and kinetic energy, and she was describing the transformation of potential energy as being a ball at the top of the stairs, and then activation energy was pushing the ball off the stairs, and kinetic energy was rolling down the stairs. And I was like, well, aren't all the balls going to end up at the bottom of the stairs? I mean, yeah, it's a depressing thought. A universe that's cold and lifeless and dark and still. assuming there's only one universe and that this isn't one little universe inside of a black hole inside of another universe. But, you know, I mean, I'm not going to be here.
Somebody in the chat is saying a copy is still real. Yeah, a copy is still real, but is it still
what
you?
What does it mean to be you?
That's the question. What
and
you?
And
is that
does anyone
you?
other than you care that it's not you? Does anyone other than you know that it's not you? If somebody made a copy of you in a transporter, yeah, I know it horrifies me too. Digital.
Do you even know that's
you?
not you? The new you would still think it's the old you.
The emergent pattern or whatever of you, the pattern is the wave has been broken or something. I don't know. These are, you know, good questions, and I don't know. Yeah, the brain imagines itself as something different from the... Yeah, and yes, I mean, our brains, we are arguably our brains, and what we think of as our consciousness is possibly our brain confabulating other processes that go on that we're not conscious of. I mean, yes, but still. The death of the universe, it's very interesting to think about, and it's a little depressing, but I don't worry about it too much, because I'm not going to be here. Or if I'm here, I'm not going to be.
I heard a new theoretical variation on the heat death of the universe the other day. Trying to remember exactly how it goes, but it's similar to heat death. Heat death is, you know, your entropy kind of takes all the energy and the atoms eventually decay. This other thing I heard had more to do with space expansion. Like, space is expanding, right? And it's not slowing down. It's getting faster,
why,
right?
Or maybe some of them have some theories about why, but it seems counterintuitive that it should be speeding up and not remaining at the same speed as one would expect from Newtonian physics.
Well, I've heard another take on the, quote, end of the universe, where space speeds up faster and faster, and space starts expanding so fast that eventually, like, gravity ends up becoming meaningless, because space is expanding faster than gravity can hold things together. So first, you know, because the galaxies are already flying apart, and if, in theory, space could start expanding so fast that the stars inside of the galaxy could start flying apart. So the galaxies all break up, you just got a bunch of individual stars. And then things get faster and faster, and then eventually even, like, the solar systems start flying apart. And then, at the very end, this universe is expanding so fast that the molecules and atoms themselves fly apart from each other faster than the speed of light. And you have an entire universe full of just isolated atoms.
Or subatomic particles, or... I don't know. And, you know, I mean, as a general rule, I think a straight-out nerd podcast. See, I don't feel like I'm educated.
If you can't handle straight-up nerd podcast, get out. Get out. I don't want you here. Get out.
I like science and I'm geeky, but I'm not, you know, I don't have a degree in a hard science. I'm not hardcore. I mean, you know, I don't have the citations to back everything up and whatnot. But where were we? The atoms and molecules. Oh yeah, as a general
we're talking about
rule,
depression.
The universes are the galaxies are flying apart from each other. But you know, like our sun is orbiting a galaxy. I mean, there's some orbits going on, and no DMT needed podcast. I'm completely sober. Just thought I'd share that.
What did they just say?
Needed. DMT is a hallucinogen. But you know, like the Earth, the Milky Way galaxy is supposed to collide with the Andromeda galaxy, which supposedly is supposed to result in little or no star collisions because they're that far apart from each other. You know, but
it'd just be exciting to look at the sky during that shit, really.
Yeah,
I mean, that would just be great.
It's like, you know, it's like molecules of sand borne on the wind. You know, they just zip past each other, la-di-da. But is life a hallucination? Who knows? Are we a butterfly dreaming we're Lao Tzu or something? But do I do psychedelics? No, I do not. I've thought about trying it, but I worried I would like have a panic attack. Plus, you know, I don't really know anybody who peddles them and don't necessarily want to buy any. So yeah, no LSD or anything like that. but
There's,
not into the drugs.
There's something else I heard recently, and I've talked about this before in the chat too. But how many universes do we know of? One. Okay. How many simulated universes? Like computers are getting better and better, right?
Well,
if
go ahead. You were saying what our universe is a simulation and somebody else's computer?
If you could simulate a reasonable facsimile of our universe, how many simulated universes would there be? A bunch, right? More than the real universe?
One.
Yes?
2 would be more than the real universe, yeah.
One real universe.
Sure.
That we know of. But if computers get fast enough and you can make a reasonable simulation of a universe, there could be multiple simulated universes. So are the odds that you're living in the real universe or one of the simulations?
Well, you would have no way of knowing. I mean,
You would have no way of knowing, but here's the thing. What are the odds?
How do you calculate that?
You'd have a hard time doing it.
What are the odds?
I was just reading about this lately.
Computer simulation. And
some smart person or other wrote a paper speculating that we might be in the Matrix. Only there is no physical body hooked up to the Matrix. We're just in a computer, like Magic 2.0, like those books.
Supervillains everywhere.
Those are fun books.
Supervillains?
Hello?
Did we talk about those?
You cut out for a second. What did you say before?
Can you hear me?
Hello? You're cutting out.
I
Karen?
can hear you. Yes.
Karen? I can kind of hear you.
Testing.
All right.
Testing.
Take it from simulated universe.
Simulated universe. Magic 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The books. Yeah, we're talking about that.
They're written by Scott Meyer, and they suggest that these hackers, at various times independently, have found out that the world as they know it is actually a program being run on a computer. No, this isn't Rich's mom. Is a program being run on a computer, and they figured out how to hack it, and they all independently end up deciding that they want to go to a limited number of historical places and meeting up with each other, and it's humor. And I'm probably not doing it justice, but they're fun books.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's what we're talking about. It's the same as the concept behind those books, though. Well, reality is a computer simulation of reality. Oh, I'm playing games. I'm playing.
I have not read Ready Player One. I've been meaning to read Ready Player One. Of course, if you know me, I would probably die next to a giant stack of books that I've been meaning to read while I'm busy screwing around on the internet instead of finishing them.
What is Ready Player One?
I remember reading the synopsis. I actually got it in my loot crate a couple months ago. So I have a hard copy of it in paperback format. Oh, and I wanted to say, by the way, Disenchanted, if anybody's interested in that, to skip back to that. It's available right now on Amazon for $3.99, and if you own it in Kindle format, right now the audiobook is only $2, and it's like one of the better audiobook readings I've ever heard, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's the book, because people haven't been here since the beginning. That's the book about the king who dies, and he doesn't. He's like undead, and he wants to die.
Right, but he can't go to the afterlife until he lets go of his sword, and he can't let go of his sword because it's cursed, and he's trying to find out how to lift the curse. But it's humor. Yes,
it's humorous.
Here's the Ready Player One. Here's the synopsis. Yeah. In the year 2044, reality is an ugly place. The only time teenage Wade Watts really feels alive is when he's jacked into the virtual utopia known as the Oasis. Wade's devoted his life to studying the puzzles hidden within this world's digital confines. Puzzles that are based on their creator's obsession with the pop culture of decades past, and that promise massive power and fortune to whoever can unlock them. But when Wade stumbles upon the first clue, he finds himself beset by players willing to kill him to take the ultimate prize. The race is on, and if Wade's going to survive, he'll have to win and confront the real world he's always been so desperate to escape. So, I mean, as far as I know, I think it's got like a lot of nerdy video game 80s and 90s references, which sounds fun right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been pretty well received. People like it. Sounds like fun. And I have it. I just haven't read it yet.
I'm trying to get hold. There we go.